DVLT just got a more concrete product headline. Datavault says its WiSA Technologies business is powering wireless connectivity inside Goho LS7 home theater and karaoke systems from Goldhorn. Here are the 4 points before the deep dive. Product headline, WiSA E integration, revenue not proven, and user base not disclosed. So the real question is not whether the product was announced. It is whether it becomes measurable revenue, cash, margin, and repeatable adoption for DVLT. So here's the scoreboard before we start. Product announcement, yes, per the company press release. Name partner, yes. Goldhorn. Name technology, yes. WiSA E enterprise module. Name products, yes. Goho LS7 2.0 and Goho LS7 5.1. Availability claim? Yes. The company says the systems are available now and distributed in China. Revenue impact? Not disclosed. Unit sales? Not disclosed. Product margin? Not disclosed. End user base? Not disclosed. Prior LS7 sales cycle? Not found in the official sources I reviewed. Strategic importance? Possible. Financial breakout proof? Not yet. That scoreboard is the whole episode in 1 minute. Now let's make it beginner clear. A product announcement is not automatically revenue proof. It can be important. It can show adoption. It can show that a partner is using the technology in a real product. But it does not automatically tell us unit volume, contract value, royalty rate, gross margin, cash collection, or profit. So today we are going to do 2 things at the same time. First, we are going to explain the product like a beginner is watching for the first time. What is the Goho LS7? What is WiSA E? What problem is this technology trying to solve? Why would a home theater buyer care? Second, we are going to separate the product story from the financial proof. What is proven today? What is not proven yet? What would make this product announcement matter financially for DVLT? That is the goal of this episode. Not hype, not panic, just product, technology, revenue, user base, competition, and proof. I own DVLT shares, so assume I am biased. This is educational research, not financial advice. No buy, sell, hold, price target, or personalized investment advice. Keep this sentence in mind. Product validation is not the same thing as revenue validation. That is the line we are going to defend all the way through. Let's start with the simplest version. Datavault AI has 2 major business stories right now. One story is data sciences, data monetization, AI agents, tokenization, digital twins, and related infrastructure. The other story is acoustic sciences, wireless audio, spatial audio, data over sound, and audio-related intellectual property. This Goho LS7 announcement belongs in the acoustic sciences bucket. That matters because a lot of DVLT discussion focuses on tokenization, financing, crypto assets, or data exchanges. This announcement is not about those topics. It is about sound. More specifically, it is about wireless home theater sound. The product partner is Goldhorn. Goldhorn is an audio-video technology company in China. Its own website says Goldhorn was founded in 2004 and describes the company as a car audio solution provider in China with experience in hi-fi technology, automotive electronics, and mobile audio. The Goho brand is Goldhorn's move into home entertainment. That is why this announcement matters strategically. Goldhorn is not just launching another car audio component, it is bringing audio and video into the living room through Goho. DVLT's WiSA technology is part of that product. Now, what is the Goho LS7? In beginner terms, think of the LS7 as a home entertainment system that combines 3 things: a projector, a speaker system, and karaoke capability. The press release says the LS7 systems are anchored by a 4K Ultra HD projector. That projector offers HDMI, optical, USB, and Ethernet connectivity. Those ports matter because they tell you what can connect to the system. HDMI is the common connection for video and audio devices. Optical is an audio connection. USB can support media, devices, or service functions depending on the product implementation. Ethernet means the system can connect by wired network. Then there are two speaker setups. The LS7 2.0 is the simpler version. The 2.0 means two main audio channels and no subwoofer in that numbering. Left speaker, right speaker. That is classic stereo. The press release says the 2.0 system has two tall, thin, full-range speakers. Beginner translation. This is for people who want a cleaner, simpler setup than a full surround system, but still want a better speaker experience than basic projector speakers or TV speakers. The LS7 5.1 is the surround version. The 5.1 means 5 speaker channels plus 1 subwoofer channel. The 5 channels usually mean front left, center, front right, surround left, and surround right. The 0.1 is the low frequency effects channel, usually handled by a subwoofer. That is the bass channel that gives movies, games, concerts, and karaoke more impact. The press release says the 5.1 system uses 5 identical satellite speakers and a subwoofer. Beginner translation. The 5.1 version is meant to wrap the listener in sound. Instead of sound coming only from the front, parts of the soundtrack can come from around the room. That is what people mean by surround sound. Both LS7 systems also include microphones for home karaoke. That is important because this is not just a movie product. In China and many Asian markets, karaoke is not a niche add-on. It can be a major home entertainment use case. So the product positioning is not just watch a movie. It is more like watch movies, listen to music, host karaoke, and turn a room into a home entertainment space. Now, here is the part DVLT investors care about. The press release says WiSA Technologies, which is part of Datavault's Acoustic Sciences division, integrated the WiSA E enterprise module into the new LS7 systems. So what is WiSA E? Let's explain it from zero. A normal home theater can get messy fast. You might have a TV or projector, you might have a sound bar, you might have a subwoofer, you might have rear speakers, you might have a receiver, and then you have wires. Speaker wires, power cables, HDMI cables, maybe optical cables, maybe a separate transmitter. For a beginner, that becomes confusing. Where does the speaker wire go? Which speaker is left? Which one is right? Why does the voice not match the lips? Why is the rear speaker late? Why does one speaker work with this brand but not with that brand? WiSA is trying to solve that problem. WiSA stands for the Wireless Audio Standard and Ecosystem managed through the WiSA Association. The basic idea is simple. Transmit high-quality multi-channel audio wirelessly from a source device to speakers while keeping the speakers synchronized. In plain English, the system tries to remove speaker wires without making the audio feel cheap, delayed, or out of sync. That is the key. Many devices can send audio wirelessly. Bluetooth can send audio wirelessly. Wi-Fi speakers can play audio wirelessly. But home theater is harder than just playing one song through one speaker. Home theater needs multiple speakers playing different parts of the soundtrack at the same time. The center speaker may carry dialogue. The left and right speakers may carry music and front effects. The rear speakers may carry surround effects. The subwoofer carries bass. If those speakers are not tightly synchronized, the experience feels wrong. A small delay in a single Bluetooth speaker may be acceptable for casual music. A delay in a surround system can ruin the illusion. WiSA's own technology page says WiSA home theater technology can transmit and receive uncompressed 24-bit 48 or 96 kHz sound over a dedicated wireless network that it creates with no perceivable latency. It also says WiSA technology uses the 5 GHz spectrum, supports up to 8 channels, has fixed latency, and provides very tight speaker synchronization. Beginner translation. WiSA is trying to deliver real home theater behavior without traditional speaker wires. The promise is not just convenience. The promise is convenience plus quality plus timing. That is why the announcement uses phrases like high definition, low latency, and tightly synchronized wireless audio. Now let's explain WiSA E specifically. WiSA has had different technology families. One important distinction is WiSA HT versus WiSA E. WiSA HT is the older home theater certification family that many earlier WiSA products used. WiSA E is the newer evolution aimed more at mass market devices. WiSA's own site says WiSA E is designed to bring immersive wireless multi-channel audio to more people and make high-quality sound easier and more affordable at home. WiSA's product page also says WiSA E is not compatible with WiSA HT products. That detail matters. For beginners, compatibility means, can this transmitter talk to this speaker? If something is WiSA E, do not automatically assume it works with older WiSA HT gear. That is not a negative by itself. Technology standards evolve, but it is something consumers and investors should understand. WiSA E is the mass market push. WiSA HT was the earlier home theater product ecosystem. The LS7 announcement is about WiSA E, not just old WiSA HT. Now let's compare this Goho LS7 announcement to older WiSA style products. This is where I want to be extra careful. A weak analysis would say this new LS7 is better than the old LS7, and then start guessing about the old model. I am not going to do that. If I do not have an official prior LS7 spec sheet, official prior sales data, or a company filing that breaks out old LS7 revenue, I am not going to fake an old model comparison. That would make the video feel more exciting, but it would make the research worse. So here is the honest comparison we can make. We can compare this announcement to older WiSA-style home theater approaches. We cannot responsibly compare old Goho LS7 sales versus new Goho LS7 sales without a disclosed sales base. Earlier WiSA home theater setups often looked like this. You had a TV, game console, computer, or media source. You connected a separate transmitter, such as a WiSA SoundSend type device or a brand-specific transmitter. Then that transmitter sent wireless audio to compatible speakers. WiSA's own product pages list older style enabled products like Axiom Link 2.1, 3.1, and 5.1 bundles. Those systems used a Link USB wireless home theater transmitter and speaker packages. That model makes sense for people who already have a TV or a display and want to add wireless surround sound. The Goho LS7 model is different. The announcement describes a product where the projector, home theater system, and karaoke capability are part of the product concept. Instead of saying, buy a TV, then buy a transmitter, then buy speakers, then make everything work, Goho appears to be presenting a more integrated home entertainment package. That is the upgrade story. It is not simply wireless speaker exists. It is wireless audio is built into a projector-centered home theater and karaoke product. For a consumer, that can reduce setup friction. For a technology licensor, that can matter because embedding technology inside third-party products is how licensing and module businesses can scale. But here is the key investor caution. I found no official disclosure that gives a prior Goho LS7 sales cycle, unit sales, revenue, or profit. So I do not want to say this new version will improve on last year's LS7 sales because I do not have that public source trail. As of this script pass, the verified comparison is not new LS7 versus old LS7 revenue. The verified comparison is WiSA E integrated into a new Goho projector and karaoke product versus older WiSA-style home theater setups that often depended on separate transmitters and existing displays. That distinction is important. Do not invent a prior cycle revenue number just because the product name sounds like a version. Now let's talk about user base. There are two very different meanings of user base. First, there is the end user base. That means consumers who actually bought and use the product. For Goho LS7, I do not see a disclosed end user base. The press release says the systems are distributed in China and available now. It does not say how many units have shipped. It does not say how many customers have purchased. It does not say how many systems are installed. It does not give a pre-order count. It does not give a channel inventory number. So for the end user base, the honest answer is not disclosed. Second, there is the ecosystem user base. That means the brands, devices, and product categories around WiSA. Here, the story is stronger, but still needs careful wording. WiSA has an association and certification ecosystem. WiSA's site lists home entertainment products across categories such as speakers, soundbars, TVs and projectors, SoundSend, transmitters, and furniture. It also lists recognizable product brands in the WiSA ecosystem, including Axiom, Bang, and Olufsen, Buchart, Dynaudio, Electro Company at Harman Kardon, and others. An older WiSA blog post says the WiSA Association's purpose is to test and certify audio solutions developed by more than 60 member brands. I would use that as an ecosystem marker, not as a current consumer install base. That means WiSA has had real brand relationships. WiSA has had certified products. WiSA has had a standardization strategy. But this press release does not tell us the number of Goho users. It does not tell us the number of WiSA E users. And it does not tell us how many LS7 systems need to sell before the product is financially meaningful to DVLT. That is the beginner lesson. Brand ecosystem is not the same as consumer install base. A design win is not the same as revenue. Availability is not the same as sell-through. Sell-in means product shipped into a channel. Sell-through means customers actually bought it out of the channel. For a public company investor, sell-through and cash collection are stronger evidence than product availability language. Now let's talk revenue. This is the part where beginners can get tricked. A company announces a product with a partner. People assume revenue is coming. Maybe it is. But the question is, what is the revenue mechanism? There are several possible ways DVLT could make money from WiSA technology. It could sell modules. It could license software or IP. It could receive royalties. It could earn certification-related economics. It could sell components. It could receive engineering or integration fees. But unless the contract terms are disclosed, we do not know which mechanism is driving this specific product. The Goho LS7 press release does not disclose the contract value. It does not disclose unit economics. It does not disclose per unit royalties. It does not disclose gross margin. It does not disclose purchase orders. It does not disclose minimum commitments. It does not disclose sales targets. It does not disclose whether DVLT gets paid when Goldhorn manufactures the system, ships it to distributors, or sells through to consumers. That means we should put this in the product adoption box, not the revenue proof box. Now let's ground that in DVLT's actual financial statements. In the latest quarterly report available on DVLT's investor relations site, the company reported Q1 2026 revenue of about $3.4 million. That was up sharply from about $0.6 million in Q1 2025, but the company said the increase was a result of the acquisition of CSI. That matters because the Goho LS7 news is not the main reason for the Q1 increase. The announcement happened after Q1. For Q1 2026, DVLT reported gross profit of about $0.1 million, or roughly 3% of sales. The company also reported a net loss of about $53.1 million for the quarter. Cash and cash equivalents at March 31st, 2026 were about $2.2 million. So the financial base is this. Revenue is real. But the latest reported quarter was still deeply loss-making. And the company still needs investors to watch margins, operating cash use, and financing needs. Now let's zoom into audio-related revenue. In the 2025 annual results, DVLT reported total revenue of about $39.1 million. But $30.0 million of that was patent license revenue from related parties. Live event production revenue was about $5.9 million. Consumer audio products, components, and other revenue was about $3.2 million. That consumer audio and components line is the closest financial bucket to the WiSA type hardware story. But it is still not the same thing as Goho LS7 revenue. It does not tell us how much came from WiSA E. It does not tell us how much came from Goldhorn. It does not tell us how much came from a prior LS7 model. It does not tell us how much came from modules versus finished products versus other items. So the right beginner conclusion is DVLT has disclosed some consumer audio and component revenue. DVLT has not disclosed LS7 specific revenue. DVLT has not disclosed Goho specific revenue. DVLT has not disclosed WiSA E per unit economics for this product. That is the clean line. Now let's talk profit and loss. For a product announcement, there are two profit questions. Question 1, is the company profitable overall? Question 2, is this product profitable? Those are not the same question. DVLT reported a profitable Q4 2025 in its March 2026 earnings release. The company said Q4 2025 revenue was $33.8 million. Operating profit was $4.2 million, and recorded net profit was $661,000. But for the full year 2025, the company still reported a net loss of about $79.0 million. Then Q1 2026 showed a net loss of about $53.1 million. So the company has shown at least one profitable quarter, but the broader financial picture remains volatile and loss heavy. Question 2 is whether Goho LS7 is profitable. That is not disclosed. We do not know DVLT's gross margin on WiSA E enterprise modules for this product. We do not know if DVLT receives a one-time module sale, recurring royalties, a software license, or a certification fee. We do not know Goldhorn's product gross margin. We do not know channel pricing in China. We do not know sales volume. So we cannot calculate LS7 profit. A strong script should not pretend otherwise. Now let's talk competition. The product competes in a crowded and confusing market. There are at least 5 competitor buckets. Bucket 1, traditional home theater systems. These are AV receiver setups with wired speakers. They can sound excellent, but they're harder for beginners because they involve wiring, speaker placement, receiver setup, and calibration. Beginner appeal. Best-in-class flexibility and serious home theater quality if the buyer knows what they are doing. WiSA advantage, less speaker wiring, cleaner room setup, and simpler placement for people who do not want to run cables. WiSA weakness, wired systems are established, trusted by enthusiasts, and do not depend on wireless compatibility. Bucket 2, soundbars with wireless subwoofers and rear speakers. This is probably the most mainstream competition. Samsung's Q-series systems, for example, market high channel count soundbar packages with rear speakers and subwoofers. Samsung describes the Q990F as an 11.1.4 channel system with rear speakers, 1 subwoofer channel, and up-firing channels. For many consumers, a premium soundbar is simpler than a component-style home theater. Beginner appeal, 1 bar under the TV, 1 subwoofer, maybe 2 rear speakers, and a simple retail buying decision. WiSA advantage, a WiSA E system can support a more speaker-like surround layout instead of forcing most of the system into a single bar. WiSA weakness, soundbars have stronger consumer awareness, easier retail placement, and big brand marketing behind them. Bucket 3, Sonos-style ecosystems. Sonos sells modular home theater sets around soundbars, subs, and wireless speakers. Its home theater page shows bundles like Arc Ultra plus Sub plus Era speakers. The strength of Sonos is ecosystem, app experience, brand recognition, and retail presence. The weakness from a cross-brand perspective is that it is mostly a proprietary ecosystem. WiSA's pitch is interoperability across certified products, not just one closed brand family. Beginner appeal, the Sonos path is easy to understand. Buy the soundbar, add the sub, add the rear speakers, use one app. WiSA advantage, in theory, a standards-based ecosystem can let more brands participate. WiSA, weakness. Consumers often buy brands, not standards. If the average buyer knows Sonos but does not know WiSA, WiSA has an education problem. Bucket 4. DTS Play-Fi and other Wi-Fi audio ecosystems. DTS Play-Fi supports wireless surround configurations. Its own setup page describes Play-Fi Surround as a true 5.1 surround experience when a supported master device and supported speakers are configured together. That means WiSA is not the only company trying to solve wireless surround. Beginner appeal. It uses a familiar Wi-Fi audio ecosystem and can work across supported products. WiSA advantage. WiSA is specifically built around synchronized multi-channel, home, theater, behavior. While WiSA weakness, Play-Fi and other ecosystems also have partner networks. So WiSA must prove that its experience is better or easier, not just different. Bucket 5, Dolby Atmos Flex Connect and TV-led wireless speaker ecosystems. Dolby says Atmos Flex Connect lets users place wireless speakers anywhere and then intelligently optimizes the experience for seating location, TV, and speaker setup. That is an important competitor concept because it attacks the same beginner pain point. Easy setup without perfect speaker placement. Beginner appeal, the TV becomes the brain, and the system optimizes around the room. WiSA advantage, WiSA can be embedded into broader speaker and transmitter ecosystems, not only TV-led setups. WiSA weakness, Dolby has enormous consumer and industry recognition. If Dolby pushes a simple wireless speaker experience through major TV brands, that is a serious competitive force. Bucket 6, projector karaoke combos and Bluetooth karaoke speakers. This is the competition that matters specifically for Goho LS7. Not every buyer is trying to build a cinema room. Some buyers want a big screen party product, movies, music, karaoke, and easy setup. Beginner appeal, fun, obvious use case, fewer components, and a product that can be demoed quickly. WiSA advantage, better synchronized multi-speaker sound could make the Goho system feel more premium than basic Bluetooth karaoke speakers. WiSA weakness, karaoke buyers may care more about price, microphones, apps, song catalog, portability, and retail availability than audio standard branding. So WiSA E is not competing against nothing. It is competing against soundbars, Sonos, Play-Fi, Dolby-led TV ecosystems, Bluetooth karaoke speakers, projector karaoke combos, and wired home theater. That is why groundbreaking needs a careful answer. I would grade it in 4 boxes. Box 1, technically meaningful, yes. Low latency, synchronized, multi-channel wireless audio is technically meaningful. It addresses a real consumer problem. It can make home theater easier. It can make projector-based entertainment cleaner. It can help a partner like Goldhorn build a more integrated home entertainment product. So on technical usefulness, I would score this positive. Box 2, consumer breakthrough maybe, but not proven. For consumers, the question is not whether the audio standard is clever. The question is whether the whole product feels easy, reliable, affordable, and better than a soundbar, Sonos setup, projector karaoke combo, or wired home theater. That requires product reviews, pricing, availability, and customer adoption. We do not have enough of that yet. Box 3, financial breakthrough for DVLT, not proven. The press release does not tell us DVLT's revenue per unit, margin, purchase orders, royalty terms, minimum commitments, or cash collection. So I would not call this a financial breakthrough yet. Box 4, market share breakthrough, not proven. A named product win is not the same thing as winning the wireless home theater market. To call it a market share breakthrough, we would need evidence that WiSA E is spreading across brands, product categories, and consumer purchases at scale. So the honest grade is technically meaningful, yes. Consumer breakthrough, possible. Financial breakthrough, not proven. Market share, breakthrough, not proven. For it to become financially groundbreaking, we would need evidence like large unit shipments, a clear module revenue, recurring royalty economics, strong gross margin, repeat design wins with more brands, retail sell-through data, expansion beyond China, revenue appearing in future filings, cash collection, not just announced availability, and ideally management breaking out enough acoustic sciences revenue so investors can see the business line scaling. That is the difference between technology promise and investor proof. Now let's build the DVLT Proof Box for this announcement. Product existence and availability. Score, proven by company announcement. DVLT says the Goho LS7 2.0 and 5.1 systems are available now and distributed in China. WiSA E integration score, proven by company announcement. DVLT says WiSA Technologies integrated the WiSA E enterprise module in the LS7 systems, beginner product features. Score, partially proven by the press release. We know the systems are anchored by a 4K Ultra HD projector with HDMI, optical USB, and Ethernet connectivity. We know the 2.0 system has 2 tall, thin, full-range speakers. We know the 5.1 system has 5 satellite speakers and a subwoofer. We know both systems include microphones for karaoke, exact specs like price, wattage, brightness, codec support, HDMI version, wireless range, app support, operating system, and warranty. Score, not proven from the press release. Those need a product listing or spec sheet. User base. Score, ecosystem exists. End user base not disclosed. WiSA has a brand and certification ecosystem. Goldhorn has an audio history. But LS7 unit buyers and WiSA E installed base are not disclosed. Revenue impact. Score, not proven yet. No contract value, purchase order, minimum commitment, unit volume, royalty rate, or revenue forecast is disclosed for this product. Prior version sales cycle. Score, not found in official sources. I do not see disclosed older Goho LS7 sales, so we should not claim prior cycle revenue profitability. Score, not proven at the product level. DVLT has reported company-level revenue and losses, but not LS7 specific profit or margin. Competitive position. Score, promising but unproven. WiSA E has real technical advantages around wireless multi-channel audio and interoperability, but it faces large competitors with stronger consumer brand. Recognition and distribution. Groundbreaking, score, technically interesting, financially unproven. This could be important if it becomes a repeatable OEM design win model. Today, it is not enough to call it a financial breakout. Now let's make this super beginner friendly with an analogy. Imagine a company makes a special engine part. Then a car brand announces a new car using that engine part. That is good news for the engine part company. It means a real product is using the technology. But investors still need to ask, how many cars will be made? How much does the engine part company get paid per car? Is the margin good? Does the car sell? Will other car brands use the same part? Did cash actually come in? The Goho LS7 announcement is similar. WiSA E is the technology part. Goho LS7 is the consumer product. Goldhorn is the product brand. China is the initial distribution market. DVLT is the public company whose acoustic sciences business owns and licenses the technology. The announcement proves technology integration. It does not prove the revenue curve. That should be the headline for investors. Now, what would make this more bullish? First, a product page with price, specs, and retail channels. Second, evidence of distribution on major Chinese marketplaces or retail partners. Third, unit shipment commentary. Fourth, revenue recognition in future DVLT filings. Fifth, gross margin improvement in the consumer audio and components line. Sixth, More WiSA E design wins with other projector, TV, speaker, robotics, hologram, or entertainment brands. Seventh, cash collection, not just accounts receivable. Eighth, product reviews showing that consumers like the setup and performance. Ninth, clarity on whether DVLT earns module revenue, license revenue, royalty revenue, certification revenue, or some combination. 10th, a repeatable pattern. One partner is nice, but multiple partners make a platform story stronger. What would make this weaker? No product listings, no pricing, no unit data, no visible retail traction, no revenue movement in acoustic sciences related lines, low gross margin, one-off integration with no follow-through, confusing consumer compatibility between WiSA E and older WiSA HT products, or future filings that show continued losses without evidence that the product line is scaling. Now here's my clean take. This is better than a vague concept announcement. A real product with a named partner, a named technology module, a named brand, and an availability statement is meaningful. It gives DVLT something tangible to point to in acoustic sciences. It also gives investors a better way to test whether WiSA E can move from niche wireless audio standard into more integrated consumer devices. But this is not yet revenue proof. It is not profit proof. It is not user base proof. It is not prior cycle sales proof. It is not proof that WiSA E has won the home theater market. The right box is product adoption evidence, not cash collection evidence, not unit sales evidence, not margin evidence. If I were making a DVLT scorecard, I would put this under. Acoustic sciences product validation, positive. Revenue proof, not yet. Competitive proof, early. Financial impact, unknown. Execution watch item, high priority. And the final beginner receipt is this. Goho LS7 2.0 means a simpler two-speaker home theater and karaoke setup. Goho LS7 5.1 means a surround setup with 5 satellites and a subwoofer. WiSA E is the wireless audio technology trying to make multi-speaker setups easier, cleaner, and better synchronized. Goldhorn brings audio product experience, especially from the car audio world. China availability makes the announcement more concrete, but no disclosed sales, no disclosed margins, no disclosed purchase orders, and no disclosed end user base means investors should not jump straight from product announced to revenue proven. My take, this is a useful product proof point for DVLT's acoustic sciences story. It is not enough by itself to solve the financial proof problem. The next filings and product channel evidence matter more than the headline. Subscribe if you want the daily DVLT Proof Box. What changed, what is proven, what is not proven, and what investors should track next. Educational research only. I own DVLT shares, so assume I am biased. No buy, sell, hold, price target, or personalized investment advice.